Right then, Manchester United face off against Charlton Athletic in the quarter-final of the League Cup. It might have been a minute since you've really paid attention to what's going on with Charlton. United haven't faced them since 2007 when they were previously in the Premier League. And we have won our last 10 meetings against them, and I think it would be a bit of a shock if they manage to end that run this week. Charlton are in their third consecutive season in League One, and there has not been a lot of joy for them for a long time. But they can't be underestimated. They beat Brighton on penalties to get to where they are now in the Carabao Cup. They have just scored 3 goals in 4 League Cup matches so far, so progressing via penalties is something that they enjoy doing. They've done that on 3 occasions. So if it goes to penalties, you might be in the shit because they're clearly capable of progressing in that situation. It's a challenge finding out how League One teams play and how you expect them to play when they come up against Premier League opposition. You got to watch what they do in the league. You got to see how they adapt that when they come up against the likes of Brighton. Now, when they played Brighton, they played a 5-4-1 and were not interested in trying to play football against them whatsoever. The idea was to shut Brighton down, and they did that. It was 0-0. They went through on penalties. And I think it could be the same plan when they come up against United. Try and get a 0-0 win and win on penalties. However, they have recently appointed a new manager, so it remains to be seen if Dean Holden will follow the same tactical approach. But either way, we have struggled against low blocks. I don't see Charlton coming in with anything but a low block. That being said, a team languishing at the bottom of League One, any Manchester United team that we choose to put out should be strong enough to beat them. And if it's not, then they're not Manchester United players. So I would expect Manchester United to go in there and have the easiest game that we're going to have this week. Now, what they're going to look to do, I believe, a full low block, soak up the pressure, try and take any counter-attacking opportunities. They got Miles Leaburn, who is a 6'5" unit. They go up to him to hold it up, to help them get up the pitch. He's strong. He does have the ability to run channels. They got Raksaki in the final third. He's pretty good. He can muster a little bit of brilliance. You got them. They're going to make the most out of set piece opportunities, especially with having Leaburn because he's massive. Some of the names are a nightmare to pronounce. This is the side I expect them to go with. And a star man, Jezorun Raksaki. He's on loan from Crystal Palace as a winger. He can be very, very dangerous. He's a skillful dribbler. He's a real handful 1v1. He will get a lot of space against United because I expect United to just entirely play our whole game in their half. And if we're playing football in their half, someone is going to be isolated at the back. And if you get in a foot race with this guy, there's not many players on the United side who can keep up with him. So you've got to make sure that you're cutting off the supply to him, or you're giving him the space, or you're just going to fucking boot him as he crosses the halfway line. He's wiry, he's elusive. He's got the most successful dribbles in League One this season. He is a silky left foot. He can go left, he can go right. He's cool, calm, collected when he gets an opportunity to finish. 6 goals, 4 assists for them this season. In a team that's struggling for goals, it's more impressive than it sounds. How do United beat them? I'm going with a fully rotated side, and I mean a fully rotated side. Whether or not Ten Hag goes with this, it might be 70% this. But I can't see... The only one I could really make a case for playing would be Martinez to get some more minutes in him ahead of the derby. That being said, I think he comes off the bench. And I think he goes Tom Heaton in net. I think he goes Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Malacia, which is a perfectly adequate defence to deal with what they're going to be dealing with. Midfield, McTominay and Fred. In a 3, though, alongside Zidane Iqbal. Someone who can actually progress the ball a little bit forward. Not seen him for a minute. Not sure the reasons for that. But I'd like to see him. This is a perfect opportunity to give him some minutes. And then a bit of a surprise in the forward line. Garnacho, I think he's a shoo-in to start. I think Elanga down the middle, because I think it's a risk to play Tony Marshall when he's your only striker. And I think this would be a great opportunity to bring Jadon Sancho back to the fold. I have no idea, no insight into anything that's going on with Jadon Sancho. I know he's back at the club. I feel like this would be the good opportunity to give him a run out against an opposition where it'll be tough for him because he's not going to have a lot of space, but he's more than capable of being able to turn it on. He's at home. He's in front of home fans. That would be a good way to manage his time back into the team, I think. And then you can take him out of the limelight again for another couple of weeks and introduce him again slowly in some lesser games. I think this would be a good test for him. I think that's a good strong 11. How do we beat them? You got to match it physically because it's a League One side and the quality difference will be made up by physicality. They're going to come and run. You can absolutely guarantee that. This is their opportunity to get themselves into a League Cup semi. It's the biggest thing that's going to happen to them in their careers potentially. So expect them to run. Expect them not to quit. Expect 30 minutes or so of being really confused at how level this game looks. And the physicality will be how they do it. They're going to play with urgency, energy, needle. You got to weather that storm. They've got an absolute unit. Like I said, that Lee Byrne is a fucking freak. He's massive. He's going to be a handful. So contain him. Don't get complacent. It'd be nice to get the game done and dusted as early as possible and not drag it into penalties and stuff like that. But I think if you can just ride out that 20 minutes with composure and pass it around, that's why I put Zidane in there. Someone that's going to be able to put his foot on the ball and find the players ahead of him. I think that would be good for us. It's a chance to make a semi-final. It's a step closer to ending United's trophy drought. Concentrate. Take it one game at a time, which is difficult because you're going to pick a team with an eye on the City game. But I think Ten Hag's enough of a man manager where he can say, I haven't picked my team for City yet. You lot are not my first choice players. But you can make yourself my first choice players. Go and show me what you can do. And I think that'd be a good way to keep everybody motivated. I think that's what Sir Alex Ferguson was a fucking master of. Picking the right players for the right game, resting them at the right time, giving them minutes at the right time. And I think if Ten Hag can master that as well, it goes a long way to being a successful manager. Let me know your score predictions. And is this a banana skin? Or do you think we'll just get it done? Let me know. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.